Hi, all y'all amazing folks on YouTube. Crafty Jenny back again with part 2 of the thank you video for Brian Barczyk and the Reptarium. Today I'm making the snake, the most important part, I think. And the snake that I'm going to make is his snake called Night Fury. It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful black snake that when you take it out into the sun, it has an iridescent multicolor shine to it. So what I am actually going to do is take mostly black clay with a tad bit of purple and blue and mix some of this together until I get a really beautiful color. I don't want it solid jet black to kind of help with that iridescent look, because I'm going to be using a trick at the end once I get it baked and ready to be put in the environment. I'm going to be using a little trick to get that iridescent shine to it. So what I'm going to do is take just a little bit of the purple, a little bit of the blue, but mostly black, and mix it all together until it's completely blended. I don't want any streaks in this whatsoever. So as soon as I get all this mixed up, I'll be right back. And this is the color that you end up with. It still looks really black, but it's not. It's not nowhere near as black as the original. It's kind of hard to tell with this light, but you can see it's a lighter, more kind of dark charcoaly black. I think that will really help when it comes time to getting the iridescent to shine on it. So I'm going to put these away and start on shaping the snake. What you want to do is kind of like you used to do as a kid to make the snakes with Play-Doh. You want to roll it in your hands until you get like a tube shape. And that's why I keep wax paper or parchment paper down all the time so my clay doesn't stick when I'm making any kind of clay creations. You want to kind of make sure that the whole thing is close to the same width, and then you want to start tapering towards the tail a little, making the tail a little bit skinnier than the front of the snake. And I'm probably not going to leave it this long. I may make it a little bit shorter, but for now, just to kind of work out the shape that I want, I'm going to use this much clay. And once I get the shape that I really want, I'll be right back. Now that the snake body is shaped like I want it, and the thickness that I want and the length that I want, it's time to mix the perfect color for the eyes. What I did was I grabbed just a tad bit of white and just a tad bit of tan, and I'm just going to mix that together very, very well until it's all mixed together. I was thinking about adding a little smidge of yellow in it also, but I didn't want to make it too bright. I want it to really stand out with the shape and the color and just kind of like the vibe of Night Fury. So just mix it all completely together until you get like this. Set it aside, and now it's time to work on the head. What you want to do is take just a smidge of your mixture of black and blue and purple. Maybe a little more. I don't think I got enough. And you want to do a kind of fat raindrop shape. Make sure you get it. You don't want it too edgy. You want kind of like a little curve to the edges. And once you get it the shape you want to make sure that the back is a little bit fatter than the front. Once you get the shape that you like, you can go in with some kind of sharp tool to make the mouth. And what you want to do, just barely press in where you want it and go all the way around, about halfway. If you make a mistake, you just wipe it away, smooth it back out. Then you need to make, on Night Fury, she has this kind of small little indent right in between the back two parts of her head. So I take the dull side of the X-Acto knife and just barely press in, and then kind of smooth a little bit back over it so it's not too far in. And then to make the eye holes, you go in with some kind of sharp toothpick skewer and barely tip this very edge off. Or you can get a dotting tool. I haven't been able to find any dotting tools lately, so this is what I'm using. And go in and barely push it for the eye holes. And then also, what you need to do is put in the heat sensing pits on the nose, just two barely little pushed in spots. And once you have that done, you can start making sure that you have a small enough piece of this clay to fit in the little bitty eye holes. You want to round them out and make sure they're small enough. Just kind of take your snake head. Be very careful not to accidentally squish it. So that's too big. Take a little off. Roll it out again. And once you get the size that you like, you can take a tool, a kind of little tool, to make sure you get it pretty snug in there. You don't want to really push it too hard so it messes it up, but you just want it in there snugly where it won't fall out during baking. And then the other eye, you do the same thing. You take a small amount, very small, sit it on there, and just make sure it fits really snugly in there where it won't fall out. Then once you get that done, you can take, this is going to be kind of difficult, take a small amount of black and get it almost as thin as you possibly can. Take and cut off just a tiny little, not even a sparkle amount, not even a little speck, hardly at all, barely any, and put it across for the snake eye look. And it is hard to see. Let me see if I can brighten it up a little bit for you to see. But like that, you can see where I go across it for the snake look, the snake eye look. Once I get the other side done, I'll be right back. Now that both the eyes are done, you want to attach the head to the body. And to do that, you can take just a small amount of your black clay. You don't have to do this, but I find that it really helps. And smush it in there. It doesn't really mess up the head shape or the body shape. and it gives you something to kind of spread out and kind of make it even and seal both pieces together. Once you get that, you can take any kind of tool that you prefer and smooth it out where it's a really smooth transition where it will stay together and it looks like it's all one piece. That'll take me a good 10 or 15 minutes, and when I get that done, I'll show you what it looks like. Now that it is completely connected and smoothed in, what we need to do is what I like to do is take an X-Acto knife, and they have these kind of patterns right here. That makes the perfect scales on the snake. You take it and you just barely rub it across it. You don't want to push down because then you'll lose the shape of your snake. And then you want to just go all the way across every little bit of the snake until you get him all covered. And then you'll have your really pretty scale pattern. It really does show really well. So when I get all of the scales on, I'll show you what that looks like. Now that I've got the scale pattern on, let me see if I can show you a good, right there. It really pops and makes it really pretty. Now that I've got that done, it's time to bake it. And what you need to do before you actually bake it is find a good position that it will fit in your home for it. So if you want it kind of wrapped around the branch, make sure you make it where it can wrap around the branch. Use aluminum foil to put it up on. Use anything at your disposal that is oven friendly, just so you know you're going to have that shape when you bring it out of the oven, where it will actually set how you want it. I'm not 100% sure how I want mine in here yet, so I'm going to kind of play around with it and see how I want it, and then bake it. And when it's done, I'll let you see what it looks like. And this is what he looks like coming out of the oven. I think he came out so cute. Now, to get that iridescent sheen, what I'm going to use is iridescent nail polish. And I'm just going to do maybe one, maybe 2 coats, just to see what gives him the best shine possible and the best multicolor look in the sunlight. So I'm just going to do just a thin coat at first and see how that looks. Oh, it's already looking great. And once I get 1 or 2 coats on, I will show you what he looks like, but I think 1 coat will do. And this is what he looks like when he is done. Let me turn the brightness up a little so you can see that iridescent shine. I ended up only doing 1 coat of iridescent and then kind of like a clear coat on top just to hold it in. But I think it came out so beautiful. So now all I have to do is put him in his home, glue him down a little so he doesn't go anywhere, and we will be done. So I'm going to glue him in, and I'll show him off in his home when I get done. And here he is in his new home. I think this is one of the best things I've ever made. I absolutely love it. And I hope that Brian Barczyk and everyone at the Reptarium does also. So if you like seeing any kind of crafting, sewing, building with your hands, any kind of videos like that, if you enjoyed what I've done here today, please subscribe to my channel, hit that bell, and click on all notifications. Like the video and leave me a comment, and I will do my best to comment back if I can. Y'all have an amazing day, and I'll see you next time.